Good afternoon, everyone. So, all these Ironjawz units have been spoiled, and we don't know what they're going to do. They're definitely going to make Ironjawz better, right? Like, we're getting this supplementary rules book coming up pretty soon-ish, I guess. And so, obviously, Ironjawz are going to get much better. Therefore, Big Waaagh is going to get a lot better. And by comparison, Kruleboyz are going to look worse. So in this video, I just want to go over all these different Ironjawz units, what I think they're going to be, what I hope they're going to be, and I'm curious to hear what y'all think in the comments. So be sure to do that, and be sure to check the Discord, because we talk about this kind of stuff all the time. If you're looking for a place to chat about orcs in general, whatever your flavor is, come join us. Check out the description. Okay, so up first we got the Maw-grunta. So we know that there's three versions. There's a hero, there's a unique hero, and a monster. From the Warhammer community page, I pulled some quotes. Smash through massed infantry like a boar in a china shop. A living battering ram. So to me, what this makes me think is that it's going to be some kind of horde breaker. So, something like when it connects, like when it successfully charges, roll a die for every model in the unit that you charged into. Something like that, right? Or it has a monstrous rampage where it gets to deal every model within 1 inch, every model within 2 inch. It swings its giant head back and forth, and these choppas that are strapped to its tusks just rip and tear through the battle line, making it so that other units can come in, right? So this might be like a break the wall down kind of unit. So I think that all of them are going to have the same fundamental ability. I think that the Grunta itself is going to remain consistent across all three models. The difference is going to be what the actual hero on top is doing. I think in the generic version it'll be whatever, it just has its attacks. And then I think that the unique, the named hero one, will probably be not very good, because that's the pattern for Games Workshop, right? All of these named heroes are more for narrative campaigns, right? And that's good. I think it's a good thing they're toned down so that people who are playing super casually or who are playing Path to Glory, who are playing narrative style, for them it's more things aren't overpowered, right? So I think that's fine. And then the hero is probably going to have better attacks or something, or some other ability, it can do commands or something like that, right? But I think the Grunta itself is the thing that's going to be interesting to see what it does. So I bet you it does what it says on the box, right? It smashes through hordes, and it's a horde killer. Ironjawz don't have tools to deal with large blocks of infantry that are hard to kill, right? We don't. So I think that's what this is going to be. Zoggrok Anvilsmasha. First of all, the model on the top right with the flaming sword, fantastic model. The iron, he actually has iron in his jaw, right? Top notch, right? Quotes from the website: imbue nearby orc weapons with sheer fighting power. Hammers power into his own ward smashing choppa. Grunta tongs, which he uses to further imbue the power of the Waaagh into the weapons of nearby orcs. So here we can see that there's two versions, one with a ward ignore and the other with some kind of buff. I was thinking perhaps extra rend, right? You can heat up the weapons of the units around you, and they get more rend. Or you could also give a spell or a ward ignore to other units, right? We have no way of dealing with wards, so it could just be that, right? You imbue a worse version of the hero's ward ignore into a unit, right? So that could be cool. Having something to do with wards, I think, would be super neat. Right now in Big Waaagh, the only way to deal with wards is Nasty Hex spell from the Kruleboyz spell lore. So is that what he's going to be? Is he just going to be a hero, foot hero that deals with wards, right? That could be pretty cool. I'm a big fan. I like it. Toolbox, right? Brute Ragerz. So, quote, move with terrifying swiftness despite their size. So You know, 3d6 charge, 6-inch move, can run in charge, something like that, right? They're going to have some kind of mobility buff, and it looks like they're going to charge in and smash glass cannons. Maybe they're going to have, instead of a 4-up save like the rest of the army, maybe they're going to have a 5-up save. Or maybe a lot of the units in our army are going to get 3-up save. I mean, it's hard to say. If it's a charge bonus, like if they get like +1, +2 to charge, teleporting's going to get a buff, right? Because if they get +1 to charge, let's say, right? Let's say that's it. They hit like a brute, but they have +1 charge. Well, now in Big Wa, if you teleport them, if you have your first round of Wa points, so if it's turn 2, they teleport at 9 and they have a 7-inch charge on the dice, right? So seems good to me. Can't wait. This also looks interesting for Iron Suns. If in Iron Suns you can like charge in your enemy's charge phase, I think it's at the end of their charge phase, you can charge back into them. So being able to redeploy and then charge at the opponent with units like this would seem pretty cool, right? Like that would be, if these guys are fast on the charge, then Iron Suns is gonna like these guys a lot. So that's pretty cool. I'm a big fan. Up next, we got the Weirdbrute Wrekkaz. Quote, Orc brutes can get so entangled in the anarchic energy of the Wa that they go proper wonky and start vomiting green bile. Are these savage brutes? Is that what they're doing? Are they taking the bone splitters and are they gonna sort of fold them in to the different war clans? Is that their plan? Right? So you could take a big Wa list that's all savage, essentially. I wonder if these are gonna have a keyword associated with them, right? Like if they get, like I said, some kind of keyword that marks them as being fundamentally different from the rest of them, right? Are they gonna have a weird keyword, perhaps? So they're obviously from the same kit as the Ragerz, right? Like you can see, like they're exactly from the Ragerz kit. The Wrekkaz, however, are probably gonna have shooting, you know, because it says straight up in their thing that they vomit green bile. So I'm thinking they might have they might be, instead of straight up just like smashing and damage, they might do some kind of actual, I think the music is too loud, isn't it? They might be able to do some actual kind of like debuff or something. So, or some kind of shot, right? Like maybe instead of just charging in and smashing, maybe they shoot and then charge in and smash. So we'll see. But super cool looking sculpts. The Ardboyz. Quote, the era of the beast has seen Ardboyz take up spikas or stickas, which make it a laugh to ward off charges from mighty monsters. Ward off charges from mighty monsters. And give them a good poke in afterwards. Even their shields are more of a weapon than a defensive tool. A hulking slab of beaten iron covered in tusks and spikes. My prediction is that this battle line is going to have a 2-inch reach, 2 attacks each, +1 for the champion, 4-3-1-1. So one more, they're going to lose 1 attack from those typical Ardboyz, but they're going to gain an inch reach and they're going to gain a rend. And I think instead of a 6-up ward, they're going to have some other kind of 6-up ability. So on like a save of a 6-up, it's going to deal like a damage back. Or, you know, when it says ward off charges from mighty monsters. So like what? They're going to have like, you know, monsters within whatever can't perform monstrous rampages. That if a monster charges into them, you know, roll some dice and do some damage, you know? Because that's another way that you can make a unit an anvil, is make it so that your opponent doesn't want to charge into them. It's like, if you charge into this unit, you're going to take some damage, and then I'm going to be able to fight you back afterwards, right? So, interesting. I wonder if, I mean, they're just straight up Auric Ardboyz, so is it just going to be a replacement profile on the War Scroll? Are they going to come in a unit of 10? Because as we can see on the cover here, there's 10 of them. So do they come in a box of 10? Like, are there 2 champions in here? Another thing I noticed is I don't see banner. I guess I kind of see a banner, right? But do I see a musician of some kind? Maybe this guy is like a musician of some kind. Like maybe he's banging something on his shield, right? It's hard to say. I'm super excited, super curious. And the Ardboy Boss. Browbeat his rampaging Orc underlings into discipled killing machine. I don't know what that means, right? Like, give them some kind of fighting buff, but they're going to take some damage, right? Quote, colossal fist of muscle and armor ready to smash aside even the most entrenched enemy. So a fighty hero. Quote, all semblance of strategy leaves their head. I don't know, like, isn't that just orcs? So I don't really know what to think of this anymore. I thought for sure they were going to be adding rend to Ardboyz because Ardboyz had no rend. But now seeing the new Ardboyz, my prediction is they are going to have rend. So I don't know if this adds +1 rend to an Ardboy unit. Like, sweet. But I don't really know what to think about this anymore. I hope it's not all-out attack. Anyway, as far as I know, those are all the models that have been spoiled for Ironjawz. I'm super excited. I'm tired of seeing models, and I want to see War Scrolls. I want to see War Scrolls. Having models that are awesome is great. Big fan. But I want War Scrolls. I want to build lists. I want to test stuff out. So until then, like, subscribe, and wah.